Hello Pisces, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the career and financial energy for the sign of Pisces for the month of August. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Pisces. I am using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I'm sorry, not the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I'm using the Gilded Tarot, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. Also, just FYI, the scammers are back, so I'm not going to send you a comment in the comment section, so don't get scammed. I don't do personal readings. All right, let's go ahead and make sure everything's set up and in view here. I do hope you're doing well, Pisces. Hope things are going good for you. And all right, cool. And then we'll also take 3 of these Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. Energy on the bottom, you have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, really love to see it in a career and financial reading. King of Pentacles is really somebody who's quite successful in their like in the material or the financial, maybe even the business side of life. I would say the business side of life here because you have the Emperor with it. This is one of these Empire cards. You actually have you have 2 of these cards that I would consider to be Empire cards. This person is about, like, every move that they take is about building up their fortress. It's about building up their empire. It's about stacking, for the future. It's that type of energy. Friendly reminder, since we're starting off here with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, I don't attach gender to the cards when I read, so it doesn't matter what gender you are when you watch my readings. And so when you get this King of Pentacles, you can see that this person has been successful. They sit in the gold throne, they have the gold crown on, and this is somebody who really, not only are they kind of focused and concerned around building their fortress, but they also kind of have this approach where they take the approach of, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That kind of idea, which is, if there's something working in the King of Pentacles life, they exploit that over and over and over again until they get to where they want to go. The problem is, for the King of Pentacles, sometimes they'll get into this cycle where they're doing something that's not working, and they keep doing something that's not working. And that can bring about, like, stubbornness or stubborn energy. And so I would certainly, Pisces, be very careful about being stubborn here with the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the 10 of Wands in this month as it relates to your career situation. If there's something that's not working, it's time to go back to the drawing board. I do think that there is something that's working here, though. I think by and large, there's something that's working here. But I would say, intuitively, if you know that there's something that's not working, take a look at that, right? Take a look at that. So in the overall situation, you have the Emperor, and the Emperor is another really, really good sign. You start off with a bang here with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. 2 cards you would absolutely want to see in a career and financial reading. The Emperor is the omen of success. Okay, it is, I don't attach gender. It is rather this idea of big boss energy, you could say, with the Emperor. Okay, this is somebody who really commands respect in the workplace. They're an authority figure, they're a leader, and they've really done well for themselves in the career aspects of life. So definitely love to see it here. Again, the Emperor can be a little strict, okay, and they can be a little bit rigid on the kind of the downside, if you will. But and I'm just feeling guided to say that here with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, but also because of this 10 of Wands in the past. So just something to consider. Now, in the past, you have the Knight of Cups, you have the 10 of Wands, and you have the Sun card. So the I normally start at the Knight of Cups, but let's just start. This 10 of Wands really sticking out here. Actually, you could say that this is the past, or you could also say that this is the beginning of the month. It really depends on where you want to take this reading. But the 10 of Wands is somebody who's carrying sort of the weight of the world on their back. They're shouldering a heavy load on their back here. And this is a card that is associated with burdens, struggles, overwork, hard work, anything like that, right? And so hard work is good, and I think you certainly have a whole lot of aspects here indicating hard work with the Ten of Wands, the Emperor, and the King of Pentacles. But also, if you're just working hard and you're not getting results, that can be a dangerous situation. So that's something that I would really keep in the back of your mind here as I'm looking at this reading. Make sure that you're also seeing the results, okay? Make sure you're also seeing the results. And also, if you feel like you need to like take a break, take a moment, go back to the drawing board in some way, this might also be a sign for you to do that in this month, because not only of this energy of hard work, but also because you have this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is more about like the emotional side of life. In a work and career reading, this could be around you creating some type of vision for yourself and dreaming, really having a dream. So, this is something that I've been thinking about recently, Pisces. I think it's important for me to say this here. You're actually, I think maybe not. I don't know if I said this in another reading, doesn't matter. But you can't really manifest something into your life if you don't first have a goal. So make sure you not only have a goal, but allow yourself some space to dream a little bit as well. If you really think about it, like if you don't start with a goal, you can't really direct, like the universe can't really, or your guides or your spirit team or whatever you want to believe in or don't believe in, you can't really be guided towards a certain direction if you don't have a goal, right? Like you need to make sure you give yourself something to be guided towards in order for that manifestation to come forward. So make sure you do have a goal here, and make sure you also have a dream along with that. Now, make sure your goal is properly aligned as well. Again, make sure you're not overworking and like not seeing the results of the work. You do have the Sun card, which is for me the best card to find in a tarot reading. The Sun is about joy, abundance, happiness, success. It's an overflow of all of those things that I just said, and certainly for me, it's the best omen to find in a tarot reading, no matter what type of reading it is, whether it's career, whether it's love, whether it's life, doesn't matter. This is a card that really brings about happiness into your life. In the middle of the month here, you have the Four of Pentacles, you have the Emperor, and you have the Two of Wands. So the Four of Pentacles is this idea that this person here is so afraid of losing what they have that they're holding on to their pentacles tightly, okay? And, for them, they have Four Pentacles here, but if you take a look at like the expression on their face, they have Four Pentacles here, but in their mind, it's like if they lose even one pentacle, it's like the end of the world, because they are so concerned about scarcity, they are so concerned about stability and structure in their life. And so this really encourages you to recognize that we are living in an abundant time, and we're living in an abundant universe, and be grateful for what you have now. This person, if they would just recognize that they at least they have Four Pentacles, right? And there's always an opportunity to gain more. And so it's this idea that like being grateful for what you have now, trying to be careful and be mindful of situations where you may be dipping into negative thinking around your material situation. That certainly I think is also coming through. You do have these, actually 444, because the Emperor's number 4, and then you have 2 4s as well here. So, that for me, 444 is about your guides being with you, but also it's about protection. I do feel like saying some of you are protected here. And this should be this idea of like the green, you should like, I can't tell you what to do, but it's almost like if this was my reading, right, I would say, okay, I have the green light to sort of just do something that I, go out on a limb and like try something, right? Don't put yourself at risk here. And, you have to take the right action for you. But, along with this, you have the Two of Wands, which is asking you to sort of go for something. And that's kind of what I was saying, which is like you may be at this fork in the road, as you see here with this Two of Wands, and it's like, why don't you just discover what might be down one of these paths, right? Like, feel secure knowing what you have now is what I feel like saying, and be grateful for what you have now. Towards the end of the month, you have the Four of Cups, you have the Temperance card, and you have the Eight of Wands. So definitely something around, you have this fire energy showing up here with the Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Emperor is the Aries sign, the sign of Aries, and then the Temperance card is the sign of Sagittarius, as well as this Eight of Wands, Two of Wands. So there's something about this inspirational type of energy. The Eight of Wands is a really nice card indicating that there's some good news on the way here, or that if that's not the case, there's something that's accelerating forward. The pace of your life is sort of picking up. Things are moving ahead. The gears are sort of spinning. And it's also kind of this energy of like go time, the like time to go for something. The Temperance card is about mixing and combining certain aspects and elements of your life, and certainly in your business life. It's like, I think some of you are coming up with the right combinations for success for yourself here at this time as well. And like, I think part of that is dropping the areas of your career and financial life that just aren't producing results. There's something about results here. I think is the Emperor and the King of Pentacles that's very important for you. Excuse me. Lastly, you have the Four of Cups, which the Four of Cups is this idea of potentially needing to take time to reflect, but also being careful that you are not dipping into like boredom, apathy, or pessimism or anything like that, but really recognizing that there are always opportunities. As you can see, this person's being given an opportunity here. There's this cup kind of being put forward for them. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these three Kipper cards, but if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, so you have poverty, false person, and family room. So the poverty card here is very clearly connected to this Four of Pentacles for me in this reading. You know, this is, when I read these cards, for me, this does not foretell that, you know, you're going to lose your money or anything like that. To me, this poverty card is about your mindset and thinking in the importance of kind of how much your thoughts drive your reality. And so, yeah, what's possible here is there could be a family member that's like just not understanding what you're doing, or just the other thing that I'm thinking about here with this false person family room is you may have grown up in a family where it's like money doesn't grow on trees, or you may have like there may have been a parent in your life that just like unfortunately rubbed off on you, like their poverty thinking rubbed off on you, and that's like a common situation. And you should just sort of like recognize that it's okay that that happened because you were a kid and like that was the environment that you grew up in, if that's resonating for you. And yeah, I think that there's something around that showing up here for you pretty heavily to sort of work through with the Ten of Wands, the Emperor, Four of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. It's like you seem to be very clearly hardworking if you're watching this. And so that's not the problem. The problem is making sure that your hard work is aligning with results. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. You have the Artist, okay. That's an Oracle card in this Ethereal Visions deck. You have the Three of Swords. You have the Two of Wands, another card. Yeah, there's the Knight of Pentacles. I was looking for that card. You have the Four of Swords, and you also have the High Priestess. So the Knight of Pentacles is a card of results. It's a card that I heavily associate with just getting results in one's life. So definitely not surprised to see that for you, especially as I've talked about that at length here without even seeing the card. So the Knight of Pentacles can bring about results, but it's just also saying that you're a hardworking, dependable person, and that maybe even people rely on you or depend on you in some way materially. But what's interesting here is you're getting results from your creativity with the Artist card. This is about creating something within the universe. This is about co-creating with the universe, bringing something into life or bringing something into being, and maybe quite literally about related to something with your creativity. You have this Three of Swords, Four of Swords. That's like, those cards come one after the other. Three of Swords, Four of Swords is this combination of quite literally being able to heal from anything that you may have had to separate from, or any sort of like heartbreaking situations, or something that was like very like emotionally challenging, specifically as it relates to money or finances or resources. So I definitely feel like that's coming in heavy for you here. The Two of Wands, High Priestess, Two of Wands came in again, so you have that card twice. Again, it's sort of like this idea how I was saying earlier, where it's like you have a choice to make, and it's almost like you should maybe try to discover what one of these roads looks like, right? Because you'll never know, right? I know it's cliche, but you'll never know. And the High Priestess is a card I associate heavily with Pisces. If you look it up, it's associated with the moon, and the moon is associated with Pisces, but I actually flipped the two around. I actually think that they're interchangeable, but this is your energy showing up here. Trust your strong feelings of intuition that you have as a Pisces person, and know that your intuition will be a big guidance system for you here in this month. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.